In this video, we're going to go over how to build, market, and expand your dental practice. Now, you probably clicked on this video for a couple different reasons. Maybe you're looking at your calendar for next month and you don't have as many appointments as you would like. Maybe you are a little bit stressed out about how you're going to get new patients. Maybe you feel like you're not in the driver's seat of your practice and have to rely on market conditions or new patient referrals in order to grow. Or maybe you worked with other marketing companies in the past that brought low quality leads and inevitably disappointed you. Today, I'm going to show you how to be in the driver's seat again. This is what I do for a living. I own a company that helps dentists do this every day, taking them from the passenger seat and moving them to the driver's seat of their practice. Without further ado, let's waste no time and jump right into it. So in order to solve a problem, you first have to define it. Einstein said, if you have an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. So in the spirit of that, let's define the actual problem. Let's look at your current state and figure out where you're at. Now, it's important to be as specific as possible during this process. Now, feel free to answer the following questions. How much are you currently making per month? How many ops do you have set up in your practice? How many new patients are you getting per month? Again, it's important to nail down where you are right now in order for us to figure out where you can go in the future. Now let's shift from your current state to your future state. I'd invite you to visualize this process with me. Think yourself 5 years from now on where you want to be. Think about how much money your practice is making per month. Does that look like you're hiring more hygienists? Does it look like you have to hire on an associate? Are you maxing out the potential of your practice now, or are you going out and starting multiple practices? So give yourself the freedom to dream a little bit, to think, and really be specific again on what those numbers look like. So now that we have your current state and your future state, let's look at the gap between the two. These are the three issues that are holding most dentists back when it comes to achieving that future version of themselves. Now, the first issue I see most dentists run into is inconsistent new patient traffic. Now, most dentists I see rely heavily on a referral-based mindset, meaning a lot of them get most of their new patients from referrals. Referrals are great, but when it comes to different market conditions, you're really at the mercy of people referring you when it comes to growing your practice. This doesn't allow you to grow at the pace that you want to, and inevitably, it takes you out of the driver's seat of your own practice. If you're not in control of your income, then it's difficult to reach those goals that you mentioned earlier. The next issue I see most dentists run into is not having an effective follow-up. Most dentists don't have the procedures or the systems in place in order to handle new patient traffic in the first place. If it's not a referral, if they get the patient anywhere else, whether it's direct mail or digital advertising, they don't have the capacity in order to transfer that person from a prospect into an actual patient. Along with not having that infrastructure, most of the staff isn't trained in order to transfer that prospect into a patient. Now, most of the practices in the US struggle with order taker syndrome. This is where the front desk answers a phone and is just ready to take orders from the patients, and they're not necessarily ready to answer any questions that they may have or schedule them for an appointment. The third problem I see is making decisions based on emotion and not on data. Now, most dentists don't know how much money they spent last month on advertising. Most of them aren't really sure where they got the majority of their new patients from. And even further than that, a lot of them don't know how much it actually costs to acquire a patient. Not knowing these numbers will definitely inhibit your growth when it comes to wanting to scale your business. A lot of dentists make decisions on expanding their practice through emotion and not logic. So now that we looked at the three common issues keeping most dentists back from their desired state, let's take a look at the solutions and what you can do in order to get to where you want to go. Now, the first one would be having a proven way on bringing new patients into your practice. The way I do this for my clients is through Google Ads and Facebook ads. I use landing pages and various other tools in order for it to integrate and to bring new patients in on demand. So now that we have consistent new patient traffic, how do we convert those leads into high quality patients? I've created a system through various text messages, through a various process that enables our team to do that. On top of that, I sit down with your team and I train them. I give them the scripts, the mindset, and the tools that they need in order to convert those leads into high quality patients. Now, the next thing that you need to do is to start tracking your numbers. It's important to have everything funnel into one location, both for ease of use and convenience. That way, when you make a decision on where you want to put your money for your marketing efforts, you have all that information in one spot, and it's easy to make that decision on logic. With my clients, I have a system that funnels all that information into one spot. I have how many leads traveled into our system over the month, how many of those leads actually signed up for care, and then how much money we generated off those leads. This gives a lot of my clients peace of mind because they know that the money that they're spending is producing an ROI. So now that we looked at all of that, it really comes down to two different options for you. You can, number one, do this on your own. You could spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy in trying to figure this out yourself. I can assure you that this system is difficult to set up. It's challenging in order to figure out what's going to work for each different part. I've seen a lot of dentists try and do this on their own. And what I see a lot of them is get burned out saying Facebook ads doesn't work or Google doesn't work because they weren't willing to adapt and really try out what worked, and essentially they just lost patience. It's unfortunate because if you burn a bridge like that in bringing in new patients in from Facebook or Google, then it's really going to inhibit your growth. So if you're going to do it on your own, I encourage you to be really patient. And it just expected to take a long time. So you can do all that on your own, or you can work with us. Me and my team will set up the campaign for you. We'll train your staff. We'll give you everything that you need in order to be successful with bringing in new patients. On top of that, you'll have full access to our dashboard so that you know that the money that you invested is producing an ROI. That sounds like something you'd be interested in. Feel free to book a call with me and my team. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like the video, leave any questions that you have, and consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see you later.